fun on this week as we are here, as we are each and every week to have a great time, an amazing time, and take in some good information. So if you're on the journey to automate your business, if you're on the journey to start implementing software and tools, you're just starting out, or perhaps you've gotten yourself in a tussle, you've started out and you kind of need to get things right, you spent a ton of money on software and things of that nature, I'm going to correct you. So today I'm going to correct you. So make sure you're here, you're in the right place as we get started for this week's Tech Training Tuesday. I want to welcome you here as I welcome you each and every week. I am your weekly host, your weekly teacher, your weekly blabber honor here to help you become a hashtag master of tech. What does that mean? That means you go out of your way. You make an effort. You put forth the heart and the soul and the mind and the emotion toward automating your business so you can master your destiny and master your impact. Hey everybody, I'm Justin Morgan, the hashtag Black CEO National Tech Director, the Automator, here to help you again become that master of tech that you need to be. So this week, I'm switching up the message a little bit. It's be a little more talk because again, I need to tell you something. So it's a little bit of a story, but if you didn't see the hashtag, again, it's hashtag art before automation. Now, again, I'm the automator, I'm the automation guy, Justin, art before automation. Hang in there with me. Because again, really what I'm getting into is the fact that I don't want you to lose hundreds on thousands of dollars trying to grow your business, right? So I want to save you some time and some money. I know, folks may not be worried. Maybe you went out and you bought that lottery ticket, right? So you think that you can just spend all your money today. Again, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the person who's conscious and realistic and understands that there are a lot of options out there for you to spend your money, invest your money, and I want you ultimately to be prepared to invest in the right infrastructure without wasting a ton of time. Now, some of these things may sound familiar to you. Again, you went out and you bought a tool or a piece of software or service and you never used it. Or you went out there and you bought a tool, you tried to use it and it didn't work. Or you went out there and you bought a tool and it worked for about a week, but you got distracted and went and bought another one. Like these things happen all the time. See, again, just like you, I had in my mind, like my brain, like when I first started out, I was going to be that motivational coach and motivational speaker. I'm going to have some mastermind or some coaching program, right? And so, I went out and I wanted to find the thing that would help make that happen. So, and there was a bunch of stuff that happened before this, but ultimately I knew that I needed to have a system at this point. So what I went out and did was like, all right, well, I know I need a system. I'm a coach. I'm trying to speak. So I gotta have like some piece of software, right? I gotta have a piece of software. Like it has to be some reason that I gotta have it, okay? I'm gonna have all the tools and the whistles and the bells and everything. So I go out, of course, and I search the internet and I find this software and I sign up for it. Right? So I sign up for the software. I get on this call. So I get on this phone call, right? So again, I'm the really excited person, right? Like I'm still kind of green-ish, right? I'm just excited about stuff, not knowing things I'm getting into. So I get on the call and I'm excited. And this point in time, I did not, it didn't dawn on me that anytime you have to get on the phone with somebody to purchase a product or like talk about a product, that's gonna be expensive. Like this did not even land in my brain. Like it just wasn't a possibility, right? So it wasn't even a possibility. So I'm on the phone, I'm excited. They're talking about all these things this tool does, right? By the way, if you want to know what this tool is, it's called, some people call it Confusionsoft. It's more commonly and well known as Infusionsoft. But ultimately, I was on the phone with them. And again, I talked about all the things I needed, right? So I'm sitting there, my chair. Actually, I was on my way home. I was in the car. Remember sitting there. I think I even had to stop and get gas. I was on the phone with the person. And I'm just asking, I'm like, all right, well, I need it to take in leads. Does that do it? Check. I needed to send out automated emails to do that. Check. Can I build a website with, like, I want to be able to build a website. Can I do that? Check. Can I have a membership and a course in there? Like, is that? Check. Like, it was checking all the boxes. And I sit there and speaking to the guy. And he's like, all right, well, Justin, all of that, it's going to cost you about $1,000 up front, I think is what it was. It was expensive. And there's going to be like $200 a month. I think it was a little bit more than that. Ultimately, it was expensive. Okay, and so I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, there's all this stuff, but that's kind of expensive. But again, I'm green, right? And I'm like, well, I can't remember if taxes had come out. I've just been saving for a long time or what it was, but I had the cash. So ultimately, made the investment, right? So again, I'm excited. Right? I'm the speaker. I'm the coach. I'm like, yeah, I got this tool now. I got this tool, and we're going to go crush it. Like, we're going to go tear the house down. Waiting on the money to come in, right? So I go use the tool. I'm ready, and I don't have as much success with the tool as I thought I would. Didn't make me much money. I got a little bit of use out of it. I really did get confused in Confusionsoft. It wasn't really as appealing to the eye as I would have liked at that price point. So that was also kind of disappointing. Ultimately, was I happy with it? No. Did I have my system that I asked for? Kind of. See, the catch, right? Because there's always a catch. So, like, whenever y'all get into something and somebody promises all these riches and all these results, there's a catch. Now, the catch either requires your money, your work, or a little bit of both. This time, it was a little bit of both, right? That was the catch, is that not only was there more work to be done to create this system that I had already thought I had invested in, but it also would cost me more money to get the system that I discussed with that agent on. It wasn't included in what the original investment was. So I went out, I spent the money, and didn't get the result. I went out, spent the money, didn't get the result. Ultimately, what I tried to do was I wanted to automate my business. I wanted to automate my coaching and my speaking business. The problem, right? The problem that I was really running into while I was trying to do that was I was trying to automate a business that I really had no clear picture on. I just knew I wanted to make money. Does it sound familiar? I knew I wanted it to be easy. Does it sound familiar? I knew I wanted to be able to speak. Sound familiar? I knew I wanted clients, and I knew I wanted a place to put them. Sound like a memory, right? Sound like something you thought about? I knew I wanted to be streamlined. I knew I wanted to have everything in one place. Sounds like a familiar dream, doesn't it? So I had all those things in mind. So those are good things to have in mind. It was the right thought at the wrong time. The right thought at the wrong time. See, somebody smart said that order matters. It was Trevor Otts. He gave a great example. I'll throw him out there. Shout out to Trevor. His example was laundry. I thought it was pretty brilliant. Was, hey, you can do your laundry. You know you gotta wash your clothes. You know you gotta dry them. You know you gotta fold them. But you certainly wouldn't fold them before you washed them, and you certainly wouldn't dry them before you washed them. You wouldn't try to wash and then fold. There's order matters. And the same thing when it comes to getting ready to automate your business. You can't just go out there and just buy all the systems that are available first, right? See, I thought I was going through things in the right order. That was the thing. I thought. See, that's why I'm here speaking to you. Because you think you're doing things in the right order. You think you're ready. You think you're in the right place. You think you completed step one. but you really haven't yet. You think. See, again, the hashtag today, put it in the comments when you share this, is hashtag art before automation. Hashtag art before automation. Again, why am I saying that? Again, why am I stressing that? Again, why is that the hashtag? Just, you're the automation guy. What are you talking about art? I'm going to get to it. But again, hashtag art before automation. Okay, before I go in and greet everybody, just I want to stress that. And this is more than just this, right? So any endeavor that you're in, soapbox moment real quick, is any endeavor that you're in, anything you plan to do, anything you want to accomplish, it's great to dive in head first. But there's usually an art to the start. Now, you've heard that, and that's like a book, but it's real. There's an art to it. So there's some things that you need to do first. I'm going to talk about here, and I've preached before that you need to do before you start piecing things together, before you decide to hire somebody like me, before you go invest in $1 million in a program, that you should do first. That way you actually optimize those things better. Eric Thomas had a video out this week, and he talked about how in school in his process of getting his PhD, took him a long time to get his PhD. The reason he was able to do it is because of his circle, and his circle provided the fuel that he needed to be successful. Okay? And what he said was that some of us don't have the right gas in order to be successful. Now, when he was talking about having the right circle of friends. But what I want to point out in this instance is that many of you are going in there and building the system, but then you're fueling it. You're putting in the wrong type of gas into that system, and ultimately it's not going to run efficiently, or it may not run at all. It may actually run itself out. It actually may break itself down. The same way as if I put the wrong substance in my vehicle, end up in the shop. I'll end up paying more for it because ultimately I did not fuel it properly. Did not prepare properly. Did not inform myself properly before I decided to build and drive that engine. And many of you are doing the same thing as you try to systematize and automatize your business. So again, hashtag art before automation. So let's go to, we got Mr. and Mrs. Morgan. I appreciate y'all. Good evening. Mrs. Falcon, thank you for being here. Appreciate you as well. Hello, mother-in-law. All right, so let's see, as y'all get in here, whether you're live or on the replay, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Appreciate what you do and all that you give here. Make sure you share this with the world, because folks need to see this. So again, hashtag art before automation. Now, what does that mean in terms of specifics? And again, Justin, you're talking about this story with Infusionsoft. So again, I spent all this cash and pretty much figured out that I had to spend more money to finish what I wanted to do. But the problem was that I had no vision, right? I had no vision, had no idea what I really wanted to do. And so, again, this kind of went on for a while, right? I would find tools and resources, but never really took the time to have a vision for what I needed to do. Now, something stopped me, right? So something stopped me. I was lucky enough to come across the folks who founded this very movement, the Black CEO movement itself, Shay Brown and Trevor Otts. And they were talking about systems. And so speeding up this story, and there's plenty of in between, and we can get into that at another time. But that's how I ended up here, again, talking about automation and technology. And I found out that was a field of mine. It was an interest of mine. And something I was able to focus on. And now that I came back to this point and really say, hey, I took a moment, kind of went through a lot of points of reflection, right? I said, hey, Justin, you're good at training on software. You're good at telling people how to use the software and how to strategize around that software. So why don't you just focus on teaching strategies on and implementation on software? Like, why not make that your focus? And then I also said, I was like, well, so just that's base level, right? That's not getting deep into the surface, right? So I said, okay, well, then what's next? Like, what has to happen? How do you want to serve? What kind of programs do you want to create? It's not enough to say that you want to do that. That will be doing the same thing over again. Again, when I started out, I said, hey, I want to be a speaker, a motivational speaker. I said, hey, I want to be a coach, a motivational coach, accountability coach. I just want to go help people be successful, right? That wasn't enough. So again, that's what I'm saying. Where you think you took step one, you did not. You took it in terms of what you thought, but it wasn't truly step one. I'm going to give you the full step one. You did 1A. I'm giving you 1B. Pay attention. So, what I had to really tell myself was, hey, so how exactly do you want to serve? Like, how exactly do you want people to experience you? How exactly do you want people to win? How and what do you want them to get? Where should they get it? How should they receive it? Questions I also ask myself is, how do I want my life to look as I do that thing? How complicated do I want it to be? In the pursuit of making money, I have to make sure there's infrastructure in place because, again, I don't want to drown myself in my own success. So what do I want it to look like? How do I want to sustain it? What kind of structure do I need? What kind of team do I need? What kind of people do I need to know? What kind of partnerships do I need to have? So again, I thought about all this. I started to think a little bit more. Again, step 1B, right? A little bit deeper. Step 1B, even 1C if you want to call it that. But I had to take it deeper. So again, I was asking myself these questions. And as I asked myself these questions, then I was able to start looking at the scope differently. I started to look at my tools differently. As I looked at the box of things that I had, I realized, oh, I don't have this piece. I don't have that piece. And I realized what pieces I truly needed. And so now when I go out and, I look at software and tools, I can make educated decisions because I'm looking at it from the scope of answering those questions. And so when I say the art before the automation, it's merely the setup. It's the thought. It's the things you have to do, the things you must establish, the questions that you need to ask yourself first before you start investing in tools, resources, and programs. Because ultimately, if you do not know what vehicle you plan on driving, you don't know how it smells, you know how it drives, how it rides, you don't know what features you need to have in it, what experience, how many people you need to fit, then you can't really make a smart decision on what that vehicle should be. And right? You wouldn't go buy a 2-seater if your plan is to have a family with 3 kids and that be your only vehicle, right? Think about it. So that's what I'm telling you to do. So here are the key things you need to do. So a few key things you need to do. And believe it or not, again, there are still folks I get into sometimes in sales conversations where they're ready to spend money. They want to hire somebody, but yet they have not answered these questions yet. So let's go through. So these are the key questions, the art that you need to ask yourself. First question is, who do you want to serve? First question is, who do you want to serve? Key question, who do you want to serve? Now, why do you want to ask that question? Because you need to know the type of people that you're going to be working with, right? How many people you're going to be working with. And then that also dictates the type of systems that you need. How can you manage those people? They're going to be, receptive to one system over another. You can be able to handle that many people. You want to just work on a small scale with a small group of people where you focus, or you need a system that handles a ton of people, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing is, again, as I mentioned earlier, how do you want your life to look like in the pursuit of your goals and in the midst of your service? How do you want your life to look like in the pursuit of those goals and in the midst of that service? Why is that important? Now, this is one thing I always ask people, when I'm trying to figure out what kind of tools, what kind of resources they really need for their business, and ultimately how I can help them. And one thing I ask is, well, So if I set this thing up for you, Yvette, if I set this thing up for you, Zuri, if I set this thing up for you, are you going to manage it yourself? Or do you feel like you want to hire somebody to help manage it for you? You want to do both? You want to be collaborative? You want to be simple? Or do you want to be open-ended for a bunch of customization? So ask them that question. And that determines what tool they should get, because ultimately it'll affect how they interact with that tool in the future. Again, how does it fit in? How does it fit in, right? And then the third question I want you to ask yourself, so again, the first question was, who you want to serve, okay? And the second is, how do you want it to be a part of your life, okay? Thirdly is, what's the experience? All right, so it's not just about who, it's not just about how you experience with it, but what's the ultimate experience you want to give to the client? Like, what's the journey you want to take them on? And I've talked about this, but I bet you, even though you may have heard it, you may not have done it. It's the journey. So have you mapped out the journey yet? Have you mapped out the process yet? Have you mapped out the steps yet? And the steps, again, you don't even have to know what software you want yet. You just map out, okay, I want a person to hit this page. I want a person to experience this on this page. I want a person to land here in this place. Like, you need to be able to map those things out. This is the art. This is the art. And then lastly, it is kind of a branding thing, but I think it's very important to have some of your brand pieces in place before, again, you start thinking about dumping a ton of money into automating your business. Like, you come to me and you haven't even figured out your brand yet, I can't do much for you. You come to me and you haven't figured out your logos and your colors yet, I can't do much for you. If you come to me and like, just, I don't even know what I want to sell, then I definitely can't help you. That's not what I'm here for. So you need to figure this out. Okay? So some key branding questions you have to ask yourself is figure out your brand, figure out your message, figure out your story. Figure out your story. And this is also important, not just from the branding aspect of, yeah, you figure out the colors and stuff. And obviously from a logistics standpoint, I can't do anything for you if you haven't figured that stuff out. Not a branding specialist, not what I do. Okay? So I get that. But think of it this way. How effective, how fast, how well will a fast car perform if the driver does not know how to drive it? I'm a Dodge Viper fan. That's my dream car. The one thing I want. I will get it. When I do, hopefully I can handle it. All right? Hopefully I can handle it. But think about it. How well, no matter how many records the car sets, if I don't know how to drive it, it's not going to do much good. Same thing with your business and automation. Believe it or not, it's your stories. It's you. It's your personality. It's your character. If you're the face of your brand, it's you that is driving it. So no matter how fancy the wheels are, no matter the color of the paint, no matter how much chrome, how many navigation systems you put in, how much auto drive, auto system, auto guide, whatever you put in there, slip suspension, control, I don't care. No matter how fancy it is, if you do not know how to drive it, unless it drives itself, which if you had the money to build a business that run itself, you would not be here listening to me, okay? So unless it runs itself, it all depends on the driver, which is you. And if you do not know your story, if you do not know your message, if you do not know what pulls at the heartstrings and the minds and the souls of the people you want to touch, then it does not matter how good your vehicle is. It does not matter how good your automated system is. You'll be wasting money and you will go nowhere. Or you may just get a little far, but you'll never get to where you were meant to get. Again, the thing that I say is to automate your business, because I want you to master your destiny. Not just kind of get it. Not just sort of get it. Not just sort of accomplish it. I want you to master your destiny so you can master your impact. I know. Master your impact. I don't say those words lightly. But you can't do that if you don't have those things in place first. So again, hashtag art before automation. Art before automation. Now, if you figured out that part, right? If you figured out parts like, Justin, I get it. I got it. Cool. I'm ready. Like after that point, I want to get the tools. Do me a favor. Text the word auto, AUTO to 240-696-2009. Text the word auto to 240-696-2009. You'll get my automation guide, which I'll be doing some cool updates to soon. So you may want to hop on that list now, because again, you still get access to that stuff. Okay. So again, text the word auto, AUTO to 240-696-2009. Text the word auto, 240-696-2009 to get access to the automation guide. So if y'all have any questions about this, Justin, what some other ways to plan? What are some other ways to get ready? What some other ways to prepare? Then please leave the comments in the chat and make sure you tag me, and I will make sure I get back to you. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you enjoyed this, if this was useful, if you found it like it could help you, your business, your life, or whatever you're attempting to do, make sure you leave a great comment, and make sure you share this with somebody who needs it, because this could be the game changer for them in your business, and certainly it was for me. So I appreciate y'all. Again, I'm Justin Morin, the Automator, the hashtag Black CEO National Tech Director. I appreciate you. I will see you next week, as I usually do. Hashtag Black CEO out. And as usual, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace. Into the